Welcome to today's commencement ceremony honoring the class of 2021. All guests and graduates must remain in your assigned seat and follow physical distancing guidelines. Masks are required and should be worn properly, covering your nose and mouth. The procession will begin in 20 minutes.
Give to you, love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you.
Let's fly down or drive down to New Orleans. That city, it sure is pretty. Historic scenes. I'm gonna take you. I would love to parade you down Bourbon Street. Well, there are a lot of hot spots. You're gonna see some big shots down on Bourbon Street.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me.
Stars fading, but I linger on, dear.
Oh, how you linger on.
Still craving your kiss.
How you crave my kiss.
Now I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this.
Give me a little kiss, sweet dreams, till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries.
Welcome to today's commencement ceremony honoring the class of 2021. All guests and graduates must remain in their ticketed seats with their masks on. The procession will begin shortly. Please take your seats at this time.
Yeah, I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams, dreaming.
Till sunbeams find you, keep dreaming.
Gotta keep dreaming.
Leave the worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, you've gotta make me a promise. Promise to me.
You dream.
Dream a little dream of me.
Please take your seats. The procession will begin momentarily.
Oh, sugar, I call my baby my sugar. I never made you my sugar because my sugar is so confectionery funny. She never asks for my money. All I can give her is honey that she can get anytime. I'd make a million trips to her lips if I was a bee, 'cause she's sweeter than any candy to me. She's granulated sugar. I never cheat on my sugar, 'cause I'm so sweet on my sugar. That sugar baby of mine. You know what it means to miss New Orleans and miss it each night and day. I know I'm not wrong. The feeling's getting stronger the longer I stay away. It's the moss-covered pines, the tall sugar pines, where mockingbirds used to sing. And I'd like to see the lazy Mississippi hurrying into spring. Oh, the Mardi Gras, the memories of Creole's tunes that fill the air. I dream of old yanders in June, and soon I'm wishing that I were there. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans when that's where you left your heart? There's something more. I miss the one I kept more than I miss New Orleans.
Welcome to today's celebration of Loyola University New Orleans Class of 2021. The presidential party will now enter, headed by Father Justin Daffron, carrying the university mace. According to academic custom, the president marches at the end of the procession, attired in the university ceremonial robe and wearing her chain of office. Graduates and honored guests, the chair of the Loyola University New Orleans Board of Trustees, Mr. Dennis Cuneo.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome all of you and offer my congratulations to our graduates today. You know, this graduating class of 2021 has experienced the most terrifying and disruptive event of my lifetime, and I've been on this earth for 7 decades. In March of last year, when New Orleans was in the midst of the pandemic, the epicenter of the pandemic, you were told to pack up your stuff and go home. Almost overnight, you had to change from in-person to online classes. When you returned in the fall, you had to wear a mask. You had to wash your hands multiple times each day. You had to social distance. Some of you caught the disease and had to deal with the symptoms. Some of you lost your loved ones. And all of you had to deal with the fear, the sorrow, the stress, the uncertainty, and the anxiety caused by the pandemic. But through determination and grit, you toughed it out. And we're here today to celebrate your graduation. And graduations are joyous events. And under any circumstances, we remember them, but this one is particularly special, and I think we'll all remember this for a long time. So, to the graduates, I want you to give yourselves a hand because you deserve it. And then I want you to give it up for your families and friends who are sitting here because they help support you throughout this time. Now, when you graduate from Loyola, you join an exclusive group of 50,000 living alumni. And I urge you to stay connected to your classmates. I graduated from the law school 45 years ago. And when I entered the law school, I was newly married. And my wife and I are from out of town, and we made friends with 3 other couples who were also newly married. Throughout the 45 years, we've all remained married and we remain good friends. We get together once a year, been to our kids' weddings, stay in touch on a regular basis. There's no better friends than old friends. And so we can all be thankful for our Jesuit education, but we should also treasure the friendships that we make along the way. And I hope that your friendships last as long as mine. Now I have the honor of formally starting the ceremony, but before I do that, I'm going to step out of protocol and I want to do something. If you bear with me 1 second. Okay, everybody smile. If you can't see my iPhone, you won't be in it. So, as chair of the Board of Trustees, it is my distinct honor to formally start the program with these words. Here now, in the presence of the candidates for degree, members of the faculty, staff, and administration, alumni, board members, and guests and friends of Loyola University, the commencement of our 117th year is now called to order. Thank you.
Please stand for our invocation given by Father Justin Daffron, Vice President for Mission and Identity. Please remain standing for the national anthem being performed by Isabella Vanderhoof, an accomplished vocalist and Master of Music degree candidate from the College of Music and Media.
Graduates, today you're surrounded by those who have loved you, informed you, and helped you get to this place today. Aware that we're so richly blessed in the Loyola community with friends and family, so many good blessings. As we come together today, we ground ourselves in gratitude, a gratitude for all those blessings received. Parents and family members, I'd invite you to extend a hand of blessing with me over these, your sons and daughters, wives and partners, as we pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks and praise for the many blessings you place before us each and every day. As we celebrate the class of 2021, we offer gratitude for our graduates, for their families, friends, and mentors who have supported them to this day. As they progress forward in the journey of life, we call upon your blessing for them. Loving God, creator and sustainer of all good gifts, give our graduates success in all their endeavors, courage and creativity in all of their challenges, understanding in all that is new, wisdom to choose what is right and do what is good, perseverance in all they undertake, serenity and peace in the knowledge that they are not alone, that they are always loved and part of the Loyola family. We offer this prayer in your most holy name, our one true God who lives and reigns both now and forever and ever. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Now we present a special salute to you, the class of 2021, and some congratulatory words from a few of your fans. That moment when you officially become a Loyola University New Orleans graduate, it's a big deal. And over here, we like to celebrate really big deals. You've had quite a year, class of 2021. One day, you're chilling on campus, enjoying university life. The next day, boom, a pandemic hits. Everybody's lives are turned upside down. The whole world went crazy. But y'all didn't let distance and masks and isolation drag you down. Nah, that's not for you. You adjusted quickly, maintained the spirit and faith, and lifted each other up to get to this moment, this very big deal. Sure, the celebration may look a little different, more intimate, quiet, reflective, but the joy of it all, it's still the same. Because you deserve it. You studied hard and you pushed yourself. You made lifelong friends. You trusted yourself and took bold chances on your education. You even traveled the world, all while practicing strict pandemic guidelines. You won so many awards, it's hard to keep count. And you grew into the leaders you are today. You learned to think critically, to speak truth, and to act radically with love. You became the Jesuit-educated human you sought out to be when you first got to Loyola. That is reason enough to celebrate. So seniors, we salute you for being brave and brilliant and getting to this moment, this very big deal, your graduation from Loyola. Get used to hearing, "I'm so proud of you."
because you're going to be hearing it a lot.
Hello, it's John Baptiste, and I want to say congratulations, Loyola. It's amazing. You made it. You made it all the way through, and you're in Louisiana, my home, and I know y'all having a great time. I know there's a lot of emotions in the air, but you know, we're in a strange time. But don't let that discourage you. We have a whole lot to look forward to, and you are the future. We're looking to you, and I know that y'all are going to come up with some amazing things. I know there's dreams that are in your heart and thoughts in your mind to expand and grow, and you have your tribe with you, and you're going to get more people and gather those people into your tribe and just continue to do your thing. I remember the days when I was in the summer jazz program at the university and felt this sort of, this feeling of life being endless and so many things ahead of me that I could imagine for myself. And I know that you must have a similar feeling in this moment. I was a little younger than you guys at that time, but I just remember my life and how it's so much that's happening. So much has happened in a short time, and so much will continue to happen as long as we're blessed to be here. So let's take in this moment right now, and I just want to hear y'all through my iPad right here scream to the top of your lungs and relish this moment on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! All right now, that's it. That's it. That's the feeling. That's the feeling. Stay in that. Stay on that vibration. Till next time, thank you so much. And I'm going to catch you on the flip.
Hello, New Orleans! Hello, Wolfpack! I think this is how you do it. I'm Eva Longoria. I'm doing the Wolfpack thing. I'm so excited to join you and your families today as you celebrate this milestone in your lives. I mean, quite honestly, in the lives of our nation. After a year of being separated from each other, moments like this remind us that we're all stronger together when we're gathered and we're celebrating and we're supporting one another, when we're opening the door to opportunity and to the future for each other. That is the true meaning of the American dream, and it's a place where we can all prosper. It's the inheritance that we leave to each other generation after generation, to always be a person for others, to notice and care for others, to put our own needs aside and instead give of ourselves. That's the way I was raised. I'm so happy that's what you guys were taught. That ability to embrace the beauty of the human spirit in what we all need today more than ever, especially at a moment where it feels like our world is so divided. you are going to help that. You're going to help create unity because of your experience here at Loyola. And years from now, you may not remember my words, you're not going to remember what I said, but I want you to stop and look around you and remember the way you feel right now. And I hope that you remember that you're important. And class of 2021, you were very special because in the midst of one of the greatest crises humanity has ever faced, you persevered, you succeeded, you did it. And from this day forward, you will be different. And it's not because of a piece of paper that you're getting today, but because of the lessons that you learned from each other. So class of 2021, congratulations to all of you and to your family and your friends who got you through this journey. Congrats. To my dear friend Kyle Ferrari Munoz, who's graduating with y'all today. You've taught me so much about courage and dedication, not only to a cause and to a person, but to a community. And this world is going to be better because there are people like you in it, Kyle. I love you. Class of 2021, congratulations. Have faith. Be kind to others. Congrats.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 17th president of Loyola University, New Orleans, Tanya Tetlow.
You did it! Through global pandemics, hurricanes, and even surviving organic chemistry, you did it. Can we just take a moment and celebrate? And you didn't do it alone. I want to ask the graduates to look around at their loved ones here today and to wave at all of those watching on the live stream from home. I can feel the waves of love washing down from these stands. The parents and all the people who acted as parents, the siblings, the mimas and pop-pops, the aunties, the families you were born to, and also the families you chose, the neighbors and coaches and adopted uncles. Some of you have spouses here who believed in you, and children who were patient with you, at least most of the time. These are the people who invested their hopes and dreams and sometimes their life savings in you. Some of them literally moved mountains out of your way. Many of them made it their life's work to give you opportunities that they never had themselves. They refused to let you quit. They bucked up your courage at the lowest moments. Their belief in you made you believe in yourself. Graduates, can you stand up, turn around, and tell them how you feel about them? Now, exactly. Now, I'm about to wax poetic about Loyola and its beautiful campus, but I want to start by speaking to our fully online graduates, some of whom have never even been to campus in person before this weekend. Most of you came back to college after decades of being away, or you started college for the very first time at 40 instead of 18, or you came back and got that graduate degree you always dreamed of, and you did it while juggling full-time jobs and kids and life. One thought that made me happy during the pandemic was how many people were learning that online education is in fact serious business. All of these guys learned it too, particularly when you're doing it while children are climbing on your head and you find yourself hiding in the bathroom for a little privacy. The sheer gumption of what you've achieved blows me away. Do you know who else was an untraditional student who began his studies in middle age? St. Ignatius of Loyola. So for all of you who understood it's never too late to pursue your dreams, congratulations. You teach us the very Jesuit lesson to love learning every day for the rest of our lives. For the rest of you, those who came to university in the more traditional way, you now have these permanent and visceral memories of Loyola as a physical place. The red brick Gothic buildings, the sound of the Holy Name bells, the smell of an afternoon thunderstorm. Can you remember how you felt when you first came to campus those years ago? Lining up after convocation for the photo in the horseshoe, walking around that student activity expo and wondering whether there were twice as many student groups as actual students, and trying to decide whether you were going to join Christian Fellowship or the Quidditch team or both. Many of you lived in the luxury accommodations of Beaver and Buddick, learning critical skills of how best to decorate cinder block. You reveled in warm New Orleans winters, interrupted by Loyola's own version of snow, slipping around in the chopped ice with all of those little kids flocking to join you. You dodged so many hurricanes, and in true Loyola fashion, always raised money for those who got hit harder than we did. You looked around at the striking diversity of your class, one of the best things about Loyola, and you found your people. But most of you also reached out to find people different than you, to have conversations late into the night about what it's like to grow up on a farm or in a gated suburb or in a bustling neighborhood of Queens. You listened with open hearts about the lived experience of a race different than your own, learned the wisdom of faith different than your own. Some of you suddenly understood that you grew up with more than others had. Others realized you grew up with a lot less, and you all had to process your feelings about that. You learned from each other's different joys and pains, but ultimately how much you had in common when you least expected it. It turns out that opportunities like this are rare. From now on, you'll have to make more of an effort to carve out a life that isn't full of people who live in exactly the same neighborhood or work in exactly the same profession. But I hope you'll remember that life is so much richer outside of those bubbles. Loyola brought you, or kept you, in New Orleans, a city that wants one thing: for you to be yourself, your truest and most authentic self. New Orleans is not the kind of place where you buy a costume off the rack. You have to design and make your own, or actually lots of them, because we have many occasions on which we costume. New Orleans pushes you to think outside of the box, but not just that, to tear the box apart and put it back together with duct tape and then find other people who want to have a crew of boxed costumes with you. That's just who we are here. And when you came to Loyola, New Orleans, you chose a university that wanted you to be you, but the very best version of you. To recognize all of the incredible gifts that God has showered on you. And to know that those gifts are not for you. They don't make you better than anyone else. They are a responsibility. To use your brilliant logic to solve problems, your creativity to make people feel empathy, your leadership skills to inspire others to do better. You have to find your own voice, but also to practice hundreds of hours to make that voice fill a room, be distinctive and better. And in most universities, that would be a metaphor, but some of you literally did that in the music program. And so for years now, you have been studying so hard, spending hours in the library and the labs and the practice rooms. You've led student organizations and published the very best college newspaper in the country. You perform hundreds of concerts and recitals and plays a year. Our graduate students have dug even deeper into their chosen field and honed the skills that they will use forever. For all of it, the hard work, the sacrifice, and those collective moments of joy, give yourselves a round of applause. And then life threw this epic curveball at all of us. I don't know about you, but there are so many events from this year that I thought I could never forget, but they're already fading into sepia tones in my mind. And don't get me wrong, denial is a very useful psychological tool, but I don't want us to lose what we have learned from this experience, even if some of the details are pretty painful. People all over the planet have gone through the pandemic together. It's been this uniquely collective experience, but it's also one that impacted each of us quite differently. All of us experienced a disruption, anxiety, and massive inconvenience, but some of you and your families went through the loss of jobs and businesses and faced financial ruin. Some of you sitting here today lost loved ones. Too many of you sitting here today. It is a very Catholic belief to find meaning in suffering. It is also a very Jewish and Protestant and Buddhist and Muslim belief. Why do all religions seem to argue that suffering has meaning? Is it just a way to rationalize suffering, to make it hurt less? In some ways, probably yes. But suffering also does bring meaning. It makes us humble. It strips us of our illusions. It knocks down that house of cards. Suffering makes us stop and look up from our phones and pay attention. So what did we learn when we went through this year of suffering together? What has this last year of Loyola been for you? I've been thinking a lot about that question. It was a crisis full of tiny decisions. To stay away from friends even when you were lonely and desperate for company. To be careful hour after hour, day after day, in exhausting ways. At Loyola, we've never had so precise a metric of how much you, our students, care about us and about each other than that COVID infection rate. And it turned out that you really, really care. Here's the thing I think we learned together. I know that I used to think that big moral decisions would come labeled as big moral decisions with a crossroads that was clearly marked. Heroes go this way and cowards go that way. But they don't. Moral decisions are hidden in the smallness of everyday choices, constant little forks in the road with no signpost. At work, you'll have to decide whether to speak out when you think something might be wrong, but you're not sure, and there are all these other people standing around who could say something instead of you. At home, when you and your spouse are both exhausted, you'll decide who will wash the dishes, which will seem like no big deal, but collectively will determine an awful lot about each of your career opportunities in life. You'll have to decide whether to correct a friend who says something kind of hateful, whether to bother to attend the march when you're otherwise busy. And those decisions won't feel like the moments where history is made. But the funny thing is, even those grand historical moments of World War II or the Civil Rights Movement were created by people just like you, making small decisions, one at a time, that added up to big ones. The pandemic reminded us that those decisions we make affect other people, and they always did. But boy, did it kick us in the shins and remind us of that in life or death ways. The crisis gave us all of these opportunities to step up to the plate, opportunities that were always there but suddenly seem more dramatic and urgent. And so many of you did that. You cheered up your friend stuck in quarantine. You checked on the old lady living next door to your apartment. You donated to the food bank because you really remembered that some people are hungry right now. And can you remember for a moment how good that felt? I don't know about you, but when I did small little COVID things like bring groceries to my mama, I just drowned in pride. I felt so good. And then in very Catholic fashion, I felt guilty about my pride. But here's what I began to realize. During quarantine, when generosity was one of the few joys available to us, that God wired us to take pleasure in generosity, to find it better than any sugar high. And that's one of my favorite insights of the Jesuits as they do their nightly examen. Instead of just asking, was I virtuous today? They ask, what made me feel good today? Because it turns out that doing good also feels so good, that the moral answers are also the key to being happy. That during the pandemic, others of you also had the opposite experience of having to accept generosity, sometimes for the first time in your life, as family finances crumbled or relatives got sick, and boy, is that humbling. But, and I'm going to paraphrase the Gospels here, that humility, it's your superpower. Not swagger, not arrogance, those things are actually kryptonite. Humility is your strength. It's the reason you will forever have empathy, the reason that you will see people struggling and you won't blame them for their struggles as a way to turn away from the unpleasantness of it all. Like X-ray vision, you'll see through the trappings of status or the difficulties of poverty and forever actually recognize the humanity of every person that you meet. So if that's a gift you got this year, revel in it. We are, all of us, forever changed by this experience. And I worry that as the normal busyness of life begins to return, how do we remember those values we hold dear? As a student asked me recently, how do we not just step over our values like you do walking to the library on our campus without stopping to think about them? Do you remember that first month of quarantine, how quiet it was? Now, I know for some of you, you didn't get the quiet. You were piled in with too many people. But the traffic stopped. There were no planes flying overhead. And because of that, you could hear other noises, birds, children playing in the street. By shutting up for a little while, we suddenly had the chance to hear the still, small voice of God, of our values, of the needs of other people. And we look back at our old lives of how frantic and busy we once were and realized that much of it just wasn't real. It got in the way of knowing ourselves and each other. I hate that new iPhone feature that tells me how many hours a week I spend staring at it. It's deeply disturbing. This year, we focused our energy on fewer relationships. We narrowed our social life to pods, or we spent time alone and remembered why human connection is so important. The suffering pulled away at our illusions. It made us pay attention. So we need to not lose that. We need to keep finding moments to listen hard to the still small voice. A year ago, we also faced our worst fears. As the crisis begins to relent, it's hard to remember how afraid we all were, particularly of those of you staring death in the face in your own families. I want you to know that of all the purposes of Jesuit education, the biggest one just might be courage. Courage to make use of your gifts, even if you're worried that you'll fail. Courage to do the right thing, even when it will cost you. I'm not asking you to be fearless. Fear is actually quite healthy. Fear is what keeps you from doing things like bungee jumping. The trick is to look at your fears and decide between the rational, important ones and the ones that are just getting in the way of your life. And the next time you're terrified to stand up and give a speech, and your knees are shaking and you imagine you might stumble and everyone might laugh at you, remember this moment. Remember that you, my friends, have something to say in this world, and the world will be better off if you say it. Graduates, there are too many things that I want to say to you and not enough time, and I imagine your loved ones all feel the same way right now. So many lessons they wish they could just give you through osmosis without you rolling your eyes at them. So many mistakes that we've all made ourselves that we wish that we could spare you. It took me 3 years out of college to realize that air conditioners have filters that need to be changed. I want you to know that now. When you're writing emails for work, use punctuation, but not too many exclamation points, please. But I want to tell you just one last thing. I want you to take a moment right now and think of everyone in your life who ever made you feel like you didn't belong in college or graduate school, or that you couldn't finish. Anyone who mocked you for your race or your weight, or because you were Southern or an immigrant, because of who you loved, or just because it made them feel bigger to make you feel small. And I want you to cheer right now loud enough for those people to hear you. And now I want you to forever deny them power over you. Are you ready? I want you to forgive them. Or if you can't do that, I want you to push those voices out of your head. I want you to lead with love. I want you to know that you have already proved to the world that you are brilliant, kind, creative, and important. My friends, you are now officially Jesuit educated, full of learning, armed with courage, ready to make a difference wherever you go. So go out and set the world on fire.
And now, a vocal performance by Lillian Davis, who graduates this weekend cum laude with a bachelor's degree in popular and commercial music. She is accompanied by Loyola piano instructor Daniel Manicky.
is flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know what I mean. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is an old world and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know what I feel. Send down the pine, you know what I mean. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know what I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
And now, for the reason we are all here, the presentation of the 2021 candidates for graduation. The deans from each college will assist with the presentations. Please welcome Dr. Maria Calzada, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences.
President Tetlow, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for graduation who are certified for bachelor's and master's degrees.
Tesley Tensley Manuel Aldridge III. Kyle Ferrari Munoz. Don't. Samaj Flugence. Olivia Heaven Alexandria Jones. Walter Ramsey. Derek Ransom II. Maria Mercedes Romero Valiente. Samantha Sanchez Padron. Satani Silver. Richard W. Zimmerman. Sarah Elizabeth Smith. Sasha Inez Solano McDaniel. Monica Sakamoto. Reina Camille Stitt. Olivia Strickland. Victoria Soledad Suazo. Beth Rochelle Taylor. Amy Bertrand Town. Brenda Elizabeth Valladares. Charles Vandell. Caitlin Nicole Vera. Gabriela Sofia Villacampa. Brandon Demond Vincent. Kendall Wainwright. Victoria Walter. Andrea Lucia Watterson. Keontae Wells. Amelia Rain Williams, magna cum laude, University Honors, Honors in English. Aurelia Williams. Judith Ann Wolfe. Miles B. Wood, summa cum laude. Therese Tora Woods. Hunter Zarang. Veronica Janice Miles. Jessie Michelle Williamson. Amber Nicole Dean. Glory Tommy John, summa cum laude, honors in biological sciences. Queenie Teresa Wynn. Sophia Alexandra Rabasa. Hayden James Ricca. Victoria Lee Rodriguez, cum laude, honors in environmental science. Jalen Antonio Rojas. Mackenzie Grace Ross, magna cum laude, University Honors. Monica Ruiz, magna cum laude. Devin Angelo Sambola, magna cum laude. Gavin Angelo Sambola, magna cum laude. Yenisel Santiago. Courtney Blair Salzman, summa cum laude. Emil A. Schubert Talavera, magna cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Environmental Science. Julia Signorelli. Rochelle Takia Singleton. Elizabeth Morgan Skinner, summa cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Chemistry. Amanda Snyder, magna cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Environmental Science. Vanessa Chiara Sotras, Honors in Biological Sciences. Ashley Elizabeth Stidman. Spencer Reed Stingley, magna cum laude, Honors in Physics. Annabelle Stone. Catherine Zoom, magna cum laude, University Honors. Raisa Sofia Telleria. Marissa Tenorio, cum laude, University Honors. Gabrielle Helen Terranova, cum laude, University Honors, Honors in Biological Sciences. Tania Renee Thayard. Huang Nguyen Keen Tran, summa cum laude, University Honors. Grace Trapani, cum laude. Elena Marie Tresser. Kirsten Renee Turner, magna cum laude. Michaela Vanek, Honors in Biological Sciences. Marileana Vidal Morales. Dejanake Charday Walker, cum laude. Cecilia Wallace, magna cum laude. Erica Elaine Williams, summa cum laude. Marietta Teresa Wolf. Marianne Joy Yakub, cum laude, University Honors. Connor Joseph Zeringer, magna cum laude. Tyler A. Zwart. Sierra Paul Skinner. Paris Ann Willoughby. Victoria Lynn Rapp. Jasa Jessamine Susan Reichman Young.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the candidates for graduation in the College of Arts and Sciences. These scholars have studied with distinction, and they merit your applause.
Please welcome Kern Moss, Dean of the College of Music and Media.
President Tetlow, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for graduation who are certified for bachelor's and master's degrees.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Nadine Doriz. Maxwell Stephen Kopensky. Caitlin Lee Ritchie. Caitlin Ann Sanders. Trent Darcy Smith. Colleen Marie Sweeney. Katrina Ingrid Taverna. Gracie Lynn Wise, summa cum laude. Jory Mackenzie Tays. Abby Elise Trehant, summa cum laude, honors in Latin American Studies. Valeria Vivas. Rose Mary Wagner, summa cum laude, University Honors. Alexandria Bailey Whitten, cum laude. Robert Wayne Wilson III. Natalie Grace Wolf. For the degree of Bachelor of Design, Case Marie Russo, cum laude. Casey Marie Russo, cum laude. Manuel Alejandro Santos Alvarez, magna cum laude, University Honors. Marcella Amelia Thaler, cum laude. Catherine Vaz, summa cum laude, University Honors. Spencer Lee Wagner. For the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts, Alexis Graciela Reyes, cum laude, University Honors. Michael Joseph Shilitani. Lance Taylor, summa cum laude, University Honors. Isabella Josephine Bernal, for the degree of Bachelor of Music. Taylor Nicole Fontenot. Victoria Elizabeth Richard. Grant Edward Rothermel. Joseph Sabados. Vanessa Marie Tetzloff. Allison Rose Wagaspak, magna cum laude, University Honors. Clinton Henri Walker, summa cum laude. John Michael Calloway Tolentino, cum laude. Joseph Anthony Troya III, summa cum laude. University honors. Renee Vasquez, magna cum laude. Mauricio Viana. Alyssa Gabrielle Ruffini. Alyssa is also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences in Psychology. Nicole Patricia Westerfield, magna cum laude. Brian Cody Yell, summa cum laude, University honors. Ma'at Bingham, magna cum laude. Rachel Claire Michelle, summa cum laude. Austin Riddle. Madeline Rose Ritter. Dominic Rivera. Gwendolyn Rodriguez Montoya. Marco Joseph Za, summa cum laude. Julia Santos. Catherine Graf Schultz. Betty G. Schwensen, summa cum laude. Brenna Nicole Slatkin, magna cum laude. Bokar Tala. Praise Danielle Tillman, magna cum laude. Catherine Grace Trotman, magna cum laude. Nicholas James Warden. Luke Zell, magna cum laude, University honors. For the degree of Master of Music, Samantha Lynn Resser. Matthew Christopher Venora. Josiah James Vietti. Austin John Belleau.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the candidates for graduation in the College of Music and Media. These scholars have studied with distinction and they merit your applause.
Please welcome Dr. Michael Capella, Dean of the College of Business.
President Tetlow, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates for graduation who are certified for associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees.
For the degree of Bachelor of Accountancy, Jasmine Ray Harris Smith. Megan Hartman Spadaro, cum laude. Brendan Taravella, cum laude. Presley Jade Wascom. Laurel Lee Yarborough, magna cum laude, University Honors. For the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Cameron Scott Kelly. Courtney Rashawn Parker. Diego S. Rapacholi Avila. Taylor Elena Roge, cum laude. Alexia Rojas, cum laude. Mariola Rojas. Chandler Victoria Ross. Natalia Salgado. Diego Armando Sanchez. Matthew Dale Schrader. Carlos Enrique Schwartzbauer Pereira. Victoria Elizabeth Scruggs, cum laude. Spencer Shackle, magna cum laude. Kelsey Rose Ships. Aileen Shirley, cum laude. Joseph Alexander Short Dupree. Katie Marie Smith, magna cum laude, University Honors. Terry G. Smith, Jr. Michael Anthony Toscano. Dominic Gabriel Urquiola. Andrea Carolina Vandenberg. Sydney Michelle Venet, magna cum laude. Miriam S. Zerfawi, cum laude. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Julia Wills Powell. Deshawn Danielle Robertson. Ernesto Telles. For the degree of Master of Science in Marketing and Communication, Kaylin Elise Lee. Chenier Reynolds Montz. Catherine Ann Trigo. Roxy Elizabeth Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the candidates for graduation in the College of Business. These scholars have studied with distinction and they merit your applause.
President Tanya Tetlow will now confer degrees on Loyola's class of 2021.
Will the candidates for all degrees please stand? president and faculty of Loyola University New Orleans do hereby confer these degrees as presented today. By the public authority of the state of Louisiana, we will issue diplomas signed by our hand and confirmed by the seal of Loyola University New Orleans in the year of our Lord 2021, the 245th since the establishment of the Republic and the 109th since the chartering of the university. Congratulations, graduates. Graduates, be seated. We will now have a closing prayer. Good and gracious God, we ask you to bless these graduates and to fill their hearts and minds with your spirit. We pray that they will go forth to use their knowledge and skill, their wisdom and kindness to do your work. Bless the families gathered today who have raised these students, held them in their arms as babies through countless sleepless nights, loved them fiercely as they grew, and learned to let them go. Bless the faculty who have mentored and taught them and who have instilled in them a lifelong curiosity born of the delight of knowing that you, Lord, are present in all things. Bless the staff who have supported, advised, fed, and cared for these students, who have cheered them on and made their journey possible. Together we pray, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. We ask this in your name. Amen. And now let's celebrate.
That concludes Loyola University's commencement ceremony for 2021. Please remember to maintain physical distancing as you exit the arena. Thank you.